You ever find yourself completely stuck on a decision? Your mind is just racing, playing out every single possible scenario. Yeah, we've all been there. Today, we're going to dive into exactly why that happens. And more importantly, how you can find that clarity to make a great choice, even when your mind feels like a chaotic mess. All right, let's jump right in.
Okay, this right here, this is probably the most important rule we're going to talk about today. Because see, when your mind is full of all that noise, what you're really hearing, it's fear. And that's exactly how we end up choosing out of fear instead of from a place of clarity. So let's break this down. What does that noisy mind actually look and feel like?
So, what is this noisy mind we keep talking about? I'm willing to bet this is going to sound really familiar. You've got just one decision to make, right? But it feels like your brain is running 1,000 different simulations all at once. It's like your brain turns into this movie director, just churning out 100 different versions of the future. You're thinking, okay, what if I do this? Then this will happen. But wait, what if I do that? Then that'll happen instead. It's just this endless, exhausting loop of what ifs, and somehow none of them feel quite right. And you know what's crazy? It's how fast all those what ifs turn negative. Suddenly, your focus just completely shifts. It's not about what could go right anymore. Oh no, it's about creating this giant, obsessive list of everything that could possibly go wrong, no matter how ridiculous or unlikely it is. So what do? You start looking for answers outside of yourself, right? You're texting your friends, you're calling your mom, you're even polling your coworkers at the office. But instead of finding that one clear answer, you just get 10 different opinions. And all that does is add way more noise and confusion to the chaos that's already in your head. And look, this isn't just some mental game we're playing. This stuff takes a real physical toll on you. You can actually feel it in your body. That tightness in your chest, that feeling like your mind is just crowded, totally overloaded. Suddenly, even a tiny little choice, like what to have for dinner, feels like it carries the weight of the entire world. Okay, so this is absolutely crucial. If any of this is sounding like you, listen up. You are not weak. You are not indecisive. You are not bad at making decisions. You're just trying to find your way through a mental hurricane. The problem isn't some deep flaw in you, it's the chaotic environment inside your head. All right, now we're getting to the real heart of the matter. We call it overthinking, right? But that's not actually what's going on. What we're really dealing with here is fear. And it's a fear that has put on a very convincing costume, pretending to be productive thinking. Yeah, let's get super clear on this. Look, caring about a decision, that's normal. That's good. But being absolutely terrified of choosing the wrong option, that's something else entirely. That's overthinking. It's just fear running wild, pretending it's doing responsible, careful work. And this just lays it out so perfectly the two different paths you can take. When you're in that noisy mind, every single choice feels super urgent and incredibly risky. So what do? Naturally, you choose safety, which a lot of the time just means avoiding the choice and staying stuck. But in a calm mind, that exact same choice suddenly feels clearer, way simpler. And from that place, you're able to choose growth. And that's what leads to real progress. I love this metaphor. It's just perfect. Imagine trying to see through muddy water. What happens when you try to fix it by stirring it up more? It just gets murkier, right? That's exactly what happens when you try to solve overthinking with more thinking. You're just stirring the mud. You're making it literally impossible to see clearly. The solution isn't to stir harder, it's to stop and just let the sediment settle. And this right here, this brings us to the core realization. This is the big aha moment that can totally change how you approach every single decision from here on out. It's a really simple shift, but trust me, it's profound. So I want you to think about the last time you were really, truly stuck. You were probably thinking, if I just had more information, if I could just find a better answer, then this would be easy. But here's the thing. What if that's the wrong question altogether? It turns out you don't need a better answer. What you need is a quieter mind. Think about it. The right answer is probably already in there somewhere. You just can't hear it over all that noise. Decisions you make in a panic, they almost always feel wrong later. But decisions you make from a place of calm, they feel right, even when they're hard. Okay, so the big question is, how do we actually get that quiet mind? Well, the good news is, this isn't about meditating for hours on some remote mountaintop. It's actually a super simple, practical, 3-step process that you can use anytime, literally anytime you feel that anxiety start to creep in. Here it is, the process is simple. Pause. ground, and ask. That's it. Think of it like an emergency brake for your overthinking brain. So let's walk through each one.
Okay, step 1, pause. You literally just give yourself permission to not have the answer right this second. You can even say it out loud. I will not decide this today. And this is so important because this isn't avoidance. This is a strategic move. You're protecting your own clarity so you can make a good decision later.
Step 2, ground. You have to ground yourself physically. See, overthinking is all abstract. It's all up in your head. So to fight that, you got to get back into your body. Just stand up, take one slow, deep breath, and actually feel your feet on the floor. It sounds simple, but your body can calm your mind way faster than your brain can think its way out of a panic.
And finally, step 3, ask a clean question. Just one. A noisy, panicked mind asks fear-based questions, like, oh my God, what if everything goes wrong? But a quiet mind asks a clarity-based question. And a really powerful one is this: what choice will I respect myself for later? See how that just cuts straight through all the fear? It connects you directly back to your values. So the big takeaway here is a fundamental shift in your whole approach. Our culture is always screaming at us to decide faster, be more decisive, go, go, go. But what if the real power isn't in speed at all? What if it's in silence? This is your new mantra. It's really this simple. Before you try to solve the problem, solve the environment in your head. Quiet your mind first, and then and only then do you choose. And that's really the final thought I want to leave you with. We live in a world that just worships speed and demands immediate answers for everything. But please remember this. Some of the most important decisions you will ever make don't need to be rushed. They need space, they need calm, they need silence.